So this survey right here, we'll talk about this midway through the presentation. But my name is Dwayne. I work for Behr Paint. I've been with Behr for about 9.5 years. Prior to that, I was actually a merchandiser for Home Depot. So if you guys been around, any of you guys been around for a while, I was part of the crew that used to wear the yellow and blue stripe vendor shirt. Merchandiser. I did that for about 6 years. Prior to that, I actually worked for Home Depot in El Paso for about 4 years. So I started Home Depot in 1997, and I'm still with Home Depot. I guess a funny story about when I worked at Home Depot, I was actually in the tool rental, and I hated customer service back then. I did not like to talk to customers. Got nervous, and when I was a kid, I was 18 years old, and I didn't know anything about Home Depot and home improvement. And the only experience I had in Home Depot was when my dad was pushing those flat cars, and I would pass out because it was so boring at Home Depot. One of my really good friends, his name's Omar. He was in garden. I was in hardware, and we were both trying to battle our way to become the next DH. And I remember garden looked horrible. It was always out of stock. There was there was holes everywhere. Freight was always in the back. And it was at the end of my Home Depot career, I used to look back at him and was like, man, that guy, like his department looks horrible. Hardware was great. It was packed down, looked great. We actually got in an argument in Home Depot, and the store manager pulled us and actually told us if I could combine both of you guys, I would have a perfect employee. I didn't know what that meant until years later. I realized that years later, after reflecting back, my customer service skills sucked. I was a very good merchandiser. Long story short, that same guy, he actually just recently moved to Dallas from El Paso. He's the VP of HR department for Amazon. So I'm like, wow, and just very good people skills. Can you pass her one? Ray, can you pass her one of those sheets? He's gonna actually give you this pre-sheet. If you could just fill that out. So this presentation is about building a store within a store. So right now, your paint department, that's where Behr we sell all our product. But we really want to try to get the stores involved and kind of think of the future. Contractors, where do they normally go to buy paint? SW, right? Everyone goes to Sherwin-Williams or a paint store to buy paint. Why don't they buy paint at Home Depot? They buy all their bricks and sticks here. They rent tools here.
Right.
But for some reason, they go across the street or down the street to an SW store to buy their product. So this whole presentation for you guys is really just to kind of think about it. We could actually build a store within a store with the help of all of us. What this presentation is going to show, the vision, who's the team. We're going to talk about why don't they buy from Home Depot. We're going to try to figure out who the customer is, and then I will do a live demonstration for you guys. And at the very end, we'll take these surveys, and then there's a conclusion survey at the end of this. So the vision again, when we think of Home Depot, it's we just think of everything. But what's the difference between the tool rental, that's fairly new to Home Depot, a department within the store. So when you think of paint is roughly a $2 billion industry. And right now, if you look at your survey, who do you guys think is the number one paint company in North America? What do you guys think? Behr? Sherwin-Williams is the number one paint company in North America. They do roughly $13 billion. Of the $13 billion, 7.5 of it is pro sales. The number 2 vendor in North America is actually Behr. Behr is $2.5 billion. And most of that is actually the residential side. So when you look at the actual segment, what do you guys think the percentage of pro paint Behr does?
20.
20? What do you think? 8%? Right now, Behr, we do 3% of the pro market. We're 3% of the pro market. Sherwin-Williams has roughly 60% of that pro business. Now, if you want
May I ask a question? Okay, speaking of Pro Market in Sherwin-Williams, my husband, he does restorations on furniture. The one thing that I noticed our paint department does no longer carry are the little paper filters for filtering paint and stain, where sometimes you need those little filters when you're doing detailed work.
you actually have
Those
that.
little paper ones.
I'll show you
Do
where-
we have them
yeah,
now?
I'll show you
We
where-
didn't have at one time.
Yeah, I'll show you where that's at.
Cool.
So, if we go to the DIY market, who do you guys think is the leader in the DIY market? That's Behr. Behr actually owns roughly 40% of that market share. Valspar across the street owns 20%, and then the rest of it is just broken up with different vendors.
With wood
Okay.
and such have you.
Yeah. But SW is in the process of buying Valspar. So as I speak towards more of the pro, they're going to their people and they're actually trying to steal the interior from you guys. So that's why I don't know if you guys know, Sherwin-Williams now is sold across the street at Lowe's. They're about to buy Valspar. Valspar is huge. Actually, they're trying to buy Valspar for, I believe, $10 billion is how much they're trying to buy it for. But hopefully they don't buy it because then it creates a big monopoly. But that's the vision that we have is how do we get paint to be its own store within a store, okay? So that being said, right now there's a 3-piece team out there for you guys. The main thing I want you guys to get in this presentation is you guys don't need to be the experts. I don't know everything about paint. Matt, he's fairly new to the paint side. I mean, he's not an expert about paint. If he has a question, he normally contacts someone else, and same thing as me. If I don't know the answer, I will contact someone else. We don't want you guys to be the voice to try to push products or recommend products. Garden, I wouldn't tell someone how to pull out a plant in the correct way, how to fix it without it dying, because my plant's dying. I'm the wrong person to ask. So the main thing with you guys is if you have paint questions, just pick up the phone and call someone. So if you look at the team, you ProDesk Associates, you guys have the relationship with the pro customers, right? The customers come up to you, they buy a product from you guys, and then they leave. To help you guys out with questions, you have in-store rep. You got Matt, he's actually the rep in Denton. We got Ray back there. These are really the people that you would call for questions if you have anything. If someone does a new package for lumber, roofing, stakes, bricks, are we recommending the paint? And we don't want you to suggest the correct product, because we wouldn't expect you guys to know what products are correct for what application. That's where Ray would come in and basically help you guys. If he has any questions about the job site, so say you're doing a burnout, an apartment complex burned down. So Ray can recommend the product, but you're going to need someone to actually go out to the job site to make sure that they prep correctly, there's no smoke damage. Are we recommending the right primer to adhere to or seal the odor, the smell? What top coats do you put on top of it? Do you want? Are they going to put a 1 coat, 2 coats? What color are you picking? If you're doing a fluorescent pink, you can't do 1 coat on a fluorescent pink. So there's a lot of recommendation. I don't want you guys to tell customers this or offer it, but we do offer a 5-year warranty through our paint, through the Home Depot. We wouldn't want you to tell a customer, yeah, use this product, we'll give you a 5-year warranty. But we actually go out there and we'll walk the job, we'll make sure they do all the prep work, they scrape, they remove anything that could make that product fail. Then we do job walks where we show up and we make sure that they actually did all the priming and then the 2 coats. Now for ownership groups, the people that own these apartments, that's what they want. The contractors just want to paint and go. Right. But our angle is, can we somehow figure out on this triangle who the contractor is working with? That way, possibly, we could kind of go out there and help them out. Does that make sense, guys?
So in other words, you want to make sure you're going out there to make sure they're not voiding your warranty in order to give them the warranty.
And that's just a service that pro customers, they demand that. I mean, they expect that. SW does that. How many warranties have you given? How many warranties have you even asked the customer if they wanted? You shouldn't have asked for any. But those are stuff that customers actually ask for. The one of the biggest things is how do we get them in and out of the stores fast? So you guys, I've been using you guys to process sales for me. She did 160 gallons, 170 gallons roughly 2 hours ago. I think 2 weeks ago I ran 1,200 gallons out of the store. The week prior I ran like 600-700 gallons. And really what it comes down to is there was a customer that shopped at Home Depot. Somehow that customer spoke to a rep, and then they introduced myself to them. Now what I do is I am the person that talks to the customer, and I just basically shoot back up. Here you go. Here's an order. Can you process it for me? What we're doing to try to grow with that vision as far as building a store within a store, we're actually adding these Pro Paint Sales Service Specialists. It's a long name. PPSS for short, which is still pretty long. But what they are is we're actually putting hourly Behr paint associates in particular stores Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're paying for their salary. There's 8 in DFW. The closest one to you guys is Denton. They actually have one up there. The next one is a store in Josie. So what we did is we picked the 8 largest Home Depots with foot traffic, and we hired store managers from SW. We said we'll pay you the exact same amount that you're currently working 50, 60 hours for, and put you in a Home Depot for 40 hours. All you have to do is just interact with customers and pass us leads. That's all you have to do. And I think the Denton store they're ranked number three in the nation. I think the Arlington store is ranked number 1 in the nation.
Well, how come we don't have a rep full time?
Volume. You have a rep that he has 5 stores, but we're looking at volume now. Well, we're hoping in 9 months we launch another 18 or another 8 of these associates in DFW. So right now we just ramped up. There's 300 in the nation. We're hoping in 9 months there'll be there's 100 in the nation. We're hoping in about 9 months that there'll be 200 in the nation.
Well, I know we have one boss at the Pro Desk that did spend a lot of time down in paint trying
Dory?
to drive that. Yeah.
So basically, what happened is you got hours that you guys have to pay for, right? And so is she paint? Is she at the Pro Desk? Where is she at? She's not in the paint department? Dory, you need to cover. There's no one at the Pro Desk, so people are pulling her.
Right.
So the easiest thing is we just went to Home Depot. We'll pay for it. So, but to really make our money, we put them in large stores, okay? Or we put them in stores where we could service customers. So going back to your survey, what are some things that you said? Name your 5.
My 5 is bulk pricing, easy access, quality merchandise, one guarantee on the coverage, and then all in one, basically one coat. Done.
Okay.
That's what our pros look for.
What do you have on your list?
I put convenience, loyalty, and referrals.
Referrals. I didn't get that. Do these look pretty familiar with what you guys have? We hear this all the time from contractors. Why don't you shop Home Depot? Well, rated products. We want some good products. Well, Behr's rated number 1. We're actually rated number 1, number 3, and number 8. So. Free delivery. You guys give free delivery. Both Behr and Glidden. 24-gallon minimum. 5 buckets. You have a hotel you're painting. Well, we'll deliver 5 buckets for free to that job site. The 160 gallons that she did, that's going out at 9 in the morning tomorrow. Color management. In the system, in the paint department system, you could actually save the colors by jobs. So that way the customer doesn't come back and say, I need that paint that you sold me yesterday. And the store tells them, well, where's the sticker formed of? You actually have a system over there for that. Discounts, Pro Rewards. Pro Rewards offers up to 20% to contractors. The tiers are 10, 15, 20%, depending on how much they spend. The minimum amount is $7,500. To the one customer that she processed the order today for, they bought roughly $14,000 in the last 3 weeks. So for large apartment renovations, hotels, those guys are looking at 20 to 30K. So if they're large contractors, there should be no reason why they wouldn't get a discount. Product knowledge. This is, again, we don't expect you guys to have the knowledge. You have Raids in your store. You have myself. There's different people for you to ask. I'm not a paint expert. I mean, I know somewhat of paints, but if I don't have the technical answer, what I do is I tell the customer, let me call you right back in about 5-10 minutes, and then I'll call up someone that I think could help me. We talked about factory tinting, same thing. When we, if a customer, factory tinting, this is why it's important. If you tint from one machine, or if you tint from the second machine, those colors are slightly off. Even though you inputted bare antique white, those machines they tint slightly off. So for large jobs, contractors want factory tinting. They want it to be done at the plant, one machine, bulk orders. Our main part where we kind of struggle is phone orders. So I'll kind of get back to this, but a one-stop shop, you mentioned that, convenience. They're already buying everything from here. Why don't we add the paint in there? Pro Paint services, we offer color rendering. Do you guys know what color rendering is? Color rendering is it's actually a must. We could take a digital picture of a property and paint it for a customer without them. That way they know how the color looks like before. So here's a color rendering. This is how, I don't have it before, but basically I could tell my marketing department to use a certain color palette. That way the customer somewhat knows what the
end results will be.
So we did this I think a week ago or 2 weeks ago out of your store, and I gave the customer 45 gallons. We normally like for them to pick one out of three, but what we do is we actually give them the paint. That way their contractors can paint it and try it out. Okay, that job that you're doing right now, that's how we won them over. So other Pro Paint services, we do have warranties. Anything you really need, anything a paint department has, a paint store has, we have the same stuff through Home Depot. Specialty products, you have roughly 9 days worth of product. We have X amount. I mean, we have hundreds of different products that are available to you guys through your special order program. And no wait. So really, the problem where we struggle at right now is the phone orders and no wait. So with this new PPSS program that we have, that's where we're testing. If we had someone that has a cell phone, Dory, she was that contact for you guys. She had a phone. Can she take the order? That way the customer doesn't have to wait for the order when they show up. So going back, when you look at your the top 5 things that you guys originally said, what holds you guys back? Do you guys think that possibly we could overcome that?
We can definitely overcome it. I think a lot of it is they got used to a certain way that Sherwin-Williams functioned when dealing with the pros, and Home Depot didn't do that for years.
And it's going to take a long time.
Yeah, it's going to take a long time to convince them that they can. Now we're going to work slightly differently than them. They've got a learning process as well, but then we can provide those same things that they saw. But the only thing that you didn't cover that I see all the time is free T-shirts.
We have free T-shirts. I got a box of free T-shirts right there.
So are they sitting up at the bank counter to get that before it comes through?
No, but I mean, when you want to really think about it, is
I know it's a joke when you.
But no, that people do bring that up though.
Well, it's not advertising for Sherwin-Williams that every contractor that they see running around is wearing a Sherwin-Williams T-shirt.
So what we do is because it is an expense, and we try to use that expense for the color rendering. We do give stuff like that, stuff that we think the customer's going to want. Trial paint, we have to give a lot of trial paint out there because a lot of people don't think of Behr as a commercial customer. So we have a lot of proving to do, and it sucks because our pricing is there. We'll talk about pricing later on, but it's like, they just don't believe it. So that's where our expense, our free T-shirts, we really invest in stuff like that. We actually have this program, don't tell customers this, but we have this program called the Tyson program. You don't believe me that our product's going to be better than the others? I'll give you a $2,000 rebate, instant rebate in Home Depot to try my product. So that's a lot of T-shirts right there that we're kind of balancing that. But that's good. People bring that up. But again, we have the resources for them. These are the 4 customers that we're really trying to go after. These guys are in the store, the painters. They're probably the hardest contractors to go after. They're the ones that go to multiple stores. They go to Denton, they go to Louisville, they go to Flower Mound, and then they're in McKinney. These are the ones that are very hard to please. They like Victoria, but they can't stand Joe. that's at the next closest Home Depot. So how do we get a lot of Victorias? And these are the challenging customers. Handyman, same thing, they travel, but these guys are normally in a certain area. I know a lot of contractors that they basically do the triangle between here, Denton, and the Colony. So it's a little bit easier, a lot easier than painters. But painters are probably the most demanding. They're the ones that want all those free t-shirts. It's like, man, I just gave you 100 last week. Property managers, these are the two customers that I really focus on. Property managers, you can't just go into, they're normally not in Home Depot, right? But their employees are normally in Home Depot, and when you guys take payments, you're probably calling the person that can make a decision. So that's where that triangle relationship comes in. Can somehow we get introduced to the people that make decisions? Contractors, again, these guys normally don't, GCs, they normally don't paint. They're the ones who tell the contracts these guys to paint for them. Can I build a relationship with this person right here that he possibly gives me a job and he makes this person use me?
Yes.
So the hard thing about it is everything is job spec. In other words, there's a form that painters have to follow, and if for some reason something goes wrong with the job, if they don't follow the job spec, they're held liable. So a lot of times they follow this job spec really close. So my job is, can I get with this guy, find out what job he's working on? That way I could get spec on future jobs. But these are really the 4 customers that we're after. Again, these are the customers that you guys see in the stores all the time, and these are the ones that hopefully we could get introduced to them from these guys. Okay. That being said, so why would a customer pay $10 a gallon versus $15 a gallon versus $10? So how many of you guys put pricing?
I do.
Put pricing? Pricing is what everyone thinks of, right?
Wasn't it true for a little bit, or for a time there? I've also been around for 20 years. At one point in time.
And they still do. I mean, everyone's all about price, and that's,
Yeah.
you want to save money.
No. I'm saying that Sherwin-Williams was just that much cheaper.
No.
This is before color. This is before color paint.
Super Paint. Super Paint's a very good brand at SW. It retails roughly for about 46 gallons, maybe 52 gallons, depending on the sheen. For the exact same product, that's actually ranked number 8. Our pricing for flats is $24. Now, when we look at it, SW, they give some pretty crazy discounts. And that's what we'll see today. I'm actually going to demo these 2 products and let you guys choose which one you guys want. But to kind of really understand paint, there's 3 things in paint. There's pigment, glue, and water. That's it. If you want to make paint, you need pigment, glue, and water. So I'm a contractor. I need you to help me. That's $9. This is $3.
That's what?
I'm sorry.
99
cents. This
I was
is
gonna say $9
this
then.
is-
That's what
yeah.
I can.
This is $2.97. So if I just want to paint a bunch of shadow boxes and I want to go really, really cheap, because I'm cheap, which one do you think I want to buy?
Well, having used most of those, I know you want the $3 one because you'll cover a whole lot more. At 99 cents.
Most,
that's not gonna get
most
very
people
far.
think about this though, right?
Yes.
So my volunteer, I'm gonna count to let's count to 15. She's gonna spray paint half of this. Okay. There's 3 things in paint. There's pigment, glue, and water. She's gonna demonstrate the pigment in the paint. Where it says cheap.
Says cheap.
Like
Ready?
the whole thing?
Yeah, whatever way.
Okay.
15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You're actually an expert spray paint. So she did a pretty good job with 15 seconds. Okay? Now you got 15 seconds, you need to spray this one. Okay? There you go. Smells good. Ready?
You'll all be high by the
Go
time
for
this
it.
one's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. Thank you. This is the difference between cheap pigment and better pigment. So when you really think about it, I want something cheap. If I have 100 of these I need to paint, how long is it going to take me to paint with this brand versus this brand? As you saw, she painted, this probably looks a lot better, right? As this dries, this is going to get a little bit more transparent, but she even went over to finish up what this didn't finish up. So when it really comes down to, when you talk about coverage, a better product, or probably a higher priced item, $15 versus a $10 paint, there's something in there why it's a little bit more. Well, that expense that's in this is better pigment, okay?
Except when it's store use, it's supposed to be the 99 cents.
But that doesn't make any sense though.
I know.
But if it's 99 cents,
Right.
if Scott wants you to paint all the shadow boxes,
You would use about 3 times as much,
Yeah.
so it'd be the same.
Do the same, yeah, you're
But-
right.
But you would
cut the
waste
labor.
less time, right?
Like what costs
So this will save you on your labor.
Right, I agree.
So that's just a different way to think of it. And our customers don't really think of that, but this is just one of those deals when I go out to meet these GCs or the property management groups, this right here, we actually have a thing called the Bear Challenge. You take your product, spray paint your units, your 2-bedroom unit, and we'll give you the same amount of product and tint it the exact same way and tint it with this. At the very end, I measure how much they use. Normally, they use 30 to 40% less with my brand versus their brand. And why is that? Well, we just have better pigment. Okay? If you're doing an exterior, what do you think you want your paint to do? Or what's the feature you want your paint to do for
You want it to
to last? So what makes a paint last? We have the pigment. So how do I make that stick longer? Glue. This is a vinyl acrylic. This is very cheap, right? If I put this all over your arm and it dries, how are you going to take it off?
Peels off like skin.
Peels off, warm water and soap, it'll reactivate the vinyl acrylic and it comes right off. What about if I do the same thing with super glue? You'd probably be very mad at me, right? So you got 2 different types of glue.
We'd hate to see where that super glue had lined up on you.
Yeah. So when you think about it, what's the difference between exterior products, between this exterior product and this exterior product? Well, this is $28 a gallon. This is roughly $16 a gallon.
This one's got the primer added.
That one has the better glue. So that means that will last longer than what this guy will. This has more of that has more of that. Now, maybe an apartment complex that paints every 5 years, they don't want the super glue. I want to repaint it, or the interior. I'm going to repaint that in a year. So then you have different properties that kind of goes with different jobs. One of the areas that a lot of contractors come up to us, they're like, I've used this really good stuff, and it just didn't work out for me. It was too expensive, and it ran, and it sagged. This product isn't designed for apartment complex repaints and stuff like that. This guy is designed for repainting the same color over same color. He's designed for better touch-up. He's designed for cleanability. So there's different products for different types of customers.
Right.
And again, that's where we don't really want you guys to explain that to customers. That's where us, your Bear Inside rep or myself come in, and we basically explain this for customers. But the biggest thing that customers don't really understand is if these are both identical products, why are they so happy getting that 70% discount? You're just getting a discount on an inflated price. If you guys want to see how that actually looks, we painted a board black. I don't know if you can see, there's little boxes. I'm going to paint inside the box, okay? Promar 200 is a very good product. 300 is just as good. I'm going to demo the cheaper of the two, okay? Same thing, I have it marked. I'm going to do one dip with this Promar 400. This right here retails for roughly about, I don't know, $15 a gallon. Most contractors, $15. It could get down to about $9 a gallon, depending on how big that customer is. I'm gonna do one little dip, and I'm gonna paint this box. So this product right here is a flat product. Right now it retails in your store for about $62 a 5. After discounts, this is $10 a gallon after discount. This right here is roughly about, again, 15 bucks a gallon at SW. If you're big, you might get it at $9. It's rare. If someone has a receipt and he shows you that he pays $9 a gallon for this, he's a big contractor, okay? Here's the difference between the two. Now, as this sits and dries, you'll start to see the story. Paint has 3 ingredients, right? There's pigment, there's glue, and water. Right now, you're looking at the pigment. The pigment's what you're seeing right now. If I want to clean this later on, then you're going to see the glue. But right now, it's wet. The water's there. It's evaporating out. Once it dries, you're going to see what's left. Okay. Behr has really good wet hide. That means that it actually looks better after it's dry. These guys have decent wet hide, decent hide. So the way we produce the pigment, it looks a lot better when it dries, and that's what we're going to see. This one here is their cheaper product, more of a contractor grade. Here's the better SW product. This is the type of customer, if they're buying ProMar 200, these are the type of customers that we want to go after. That means that they're using higher end, they probably care about warranties, they probably have a large group. They're not the handymans that buy the cheapest stuff. So now as we reflect back, you can see as this is drying, it should start looking a little bit more transparent than this. I'm going to leave these on here, and then as it dries a little bit more, we'll kind of look back, and then this you'll start to see a lot of black bleed through versus this side. When you look at these two products, now this is worst case scenario, right? A black board. But when you look at this, I mean, they're saying that this product right here outperforms this guy. What's the big difference between them? They look pretty close, right?
Not really.
Which one?
Behr better.
This is Varying. I can't see it from this angle.
Yeah,
So,
it covered better.
as this dries, you'll start to see a little more. So our biggest thing is we can save you money by giving you a product that covers inferior coats. This is there's basically our value proposition. So customers paying 10 bucks a gallon for the cheapest product SW has, or any paint store has. How many gallons do you use? They're like, oh, I use 10 buckets for a 2-bedroom unit. Well, with ours, because it has better solids, it's going to cover better. Now again, I did apples versus apples. A lot of these property management group, they go about three grades below this guy. So it's not the same. This is apples to apples, same price point, same price point. This guy right here at SW for flat retails for roughly about 18 bucks a gallon, 22 to 18 bucks a gallon, about 16 bucks a gallon. Our shelf price, someone mentioned about our shelf price is $15 a gallon. Our shelf price is cheaper than what most people pay for that. And then when you have Pro Rewards, this brings the price down to 12 bucks a gallon. So really, when apples to apples, we could compete with them. We're actually cheaper than them. The only thing we really need is for people to basically get the word out there. It's do customers know, contractors know that we have, do they know that they could come here and get the exact same product, if not better, while they're buying all the lumber and stuff? Well, I don't want to wait at Home Depot for them to tin 100 gallons. Well, you won't wait. you're barely buying the drywall. It's not like you're going to paint today. We'll just do a big ticket on you, and we'll have Bear delivered from our plant. So that's just kind of the way we just kind of have to think about it. You guys have any question about paint or anything? Any questions about coverage? See that? So if we wanted to grow the pro, what do you think Bear would like to ask for you guys from? What is something that all you from the pro desk, what is a question that and from the tool rental?
I was gonna say, I don't see any protest in here, that's the problem.
And from the tool rental, what is one thing you think we would need from you guys to grow the pro?
First, ask them home or business, you know, what you're
And try and qualify them and hook them up with one at the pro desk or with the Bear rep at the
Yeah,
counter.
that's pretty much it. I mean, all we really need is just for you guys just ask them what project are they working on.
I do that anyway.
And once you do that, then for you guys to pass it on. Now, you guys, we want you guys to go with your pro or pro DH, and then they'll contact. That way, we all kind of qualify correctly. But yeah, it's really just asking what type of projects they're working on.
I print my top pros and turn them over to Rusty.
Well,
And
do
print
you?
the top 50.
Nice. On the back, if you could, there's an exit survey. Just wanted to get your feedback. What I did wrong, what I did right. Please be just answer truthfully. So I'm going to leave these displays up here for a little bit. I'll actually put them right here as I clean up. And then that way you guys can review it. You can look at this in about an hour or two, actually after your staff meeting. I'll probably still be in the store. I'll put some water on this and wipe it off. That way you can see the paint, how you can't clean certain brands. So right now you're looking at the actual pigment. I'm going to show you the adhesion, but this needs to cure out for about an hour or so. That being said, I got some shirts for you guys, and that's it, unless you guys have any other questions. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.